Fourth and final way. You know you struggle with people pleasing, and this is a big one. You just have a hard time saying no. You know, someone comes up to you and they say, "Hey, do you want to come over on Friday night?" And you're already overcommitted, okay? But you say, "Sure." And then you walk away from that conversation. You're like, "Oh man, why did I say yes?" And the reason why you can't say no is because you're afraid of upsetting that other person. But what ends up happening is on the inside, you begin to feel a deep resentment towards people. Christian rapper Lecrae. Now, I just be honest with you, I'd love to have that title, Christian rapper, okay? Rapper anything, okay? Christian rapper Lecrae, he says this. He says, if you live for people's acceptance, you will die from their rejection. In other words, it's a miserable way to live your life. Going, I need to make that person happy, I need to make that person happy, I need to make that person happy. Oh, wait a minute, that person is not happy with me, and so what do I need to do to make sure that they're happy with me? But do you know the one person who will not be happy in all this? You. Now, please hear me on this. I'm not saying that we should adopt this attitude of, well, I don't care what anybody else thinks about me. Listen, that's not what this is about. In fact, if you have that attitude, you need to go back to week 2 of I've Got Issues, because that's what that is laced in. But the reality is there is something inside all of us where we're afraid or we wish that we'll be included, that we'll be liked, that we'll be accepted, that we won't be made fun of. And that emotion runs so deep that it can cause us to do things that God would never want us to do. In fact, here's a definition of people pleasing. I think this just says it so well. It says people pleasing is this: is doing what you think others want rather than what God wants. In other words, you're so concerned with what other people want, you do what you think they want instead of what you know God wants.